But I'm gonna try. I don't know. I'm just gonna do a live stream. I'm not good. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be good at it though. I just want to try it. I was trying to make a video earlier about DeMar DeRozan and the Kawhi Leonard and DeMar DeRozan trade. A while ago, didn't upload for some reason. I tried 3 times, still didn't work. So then I had to try to remake the new video, and then it didn't. And then the script lost, and then I was trying to record it again without the script, and then did it again. Oh yeah, first video, that was supposed to be my first video with the script, did not work. Anyway, so I tried to do that and that, but didn't work, and so I'm just gonna do a free talk. Just talk whatever I want to talk about at the moment. My opinions on the Kawhi Leonard trade is nobody really won. I mean, obviously, like to the teams, nobody won like the trade for the team, like for the Toronto Raptors, the San Antonio Spurs. Nobody really won the trade itself. I mean, Kawhi Leonard got out of the bad, quote unquote, bad situation. But he really didn't. I mean, because he's just gonna go to Los Angeles. Probably, maybe the Clippers or Lakers. I'm assuming more towards the Clippers because the Lakers already have LeBron James, so you're gonna have to run shooting guard. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure of KCP's contract. I'm not sure if it was just a 1 year. I'm pretty sure they re-signed him. So I would just go with the Clippers, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, he went from, I was trying to say, anyway, I think another, like, quote unquote winner, because I don't think you could really win a trade, because you're never going to get equal value back anyway. But I think a player who really got lucky here was Jakob. I don't know how to pronounce his name right. I'm sorry, but I think having him being on the Spurs will really. I think you can make him to a Spurs Pau Gasol, a guy who can average. Actually, I think he could be a guy who can average 12 and 8, because or 14 and 8, depending. With 1 or 2, 1.8 blocks or 2.2 blocks per game. Because I think with the Spurs they have a really good shooting staff, so they can give him a better jump shot and make him a really good 3-point shooting big man who on offense can be at the 3-point line. And then I think having LaMarcus Aldridge there, might help him become also a better mid-range shooter and a post player. That's him being on the Spurs is really going to help his offensive game. And then when he's on the defensive side of the ball, you can play pretty good. He's a pretty good rim protector, so I think him being on the Spurs will really help his career. He's a pretty good pickup, though. I like that pickup by the Spurs. They got the 2019 first round pick. I don't know how high it's going to be. I think it's going to be below. Obviously, it's a first round pick. I'm pretty sure it's very high. It's very protected. So if it's a really good pick, I'm pretty sure it's pretty protected. I do think that's gonna be a decent pick. So I think they can get a good diamond in the rough player. So I think that's gonna be pretty good. I think having DeMar DeRozan on the Spurs, again, they have a good jump. They have a good jump shot shooting. They have a good jump shot training squad. So I think that will also help because he's gotten better from 3. I'm pretty sure the year before this year he shot 28% from 3, and then this year he shot 33% from 3. So I think he's getting better from 3, percentage wise at least. So I think having him being on the Spurs will definitely help. He already has a great mid-range game, so I think him being on the Spurs is really gonna help his 3-point shooting. I think this was a very like risky move for the Toronto Raptors, though, because if it backfires, probably aren't making the playoffs, but you're not going to be completely like, you're not going to be like just totally awful, because you'll still have Jonas Valanciunas, who I believe is like 26 or 27, I don't know, by 2020. I also like how you didn't trade OG Anunoby, because he's like the future of your team at the moment. Like, honestly, it's like, obviously, if you do trade Kyle Lowry, which, I mean, if you were going to, you should have done it this offseason as well. That way, it's like, that way we kind of know what you're trying to lean towards. Obviously, I think what they're doing is they're trying to pull off like a Boston where they have good young players, but they have good players in their prime who are winning right now. So I think, and they also have to really, bank on Kawhi Leonard wanting to stay on that team for, like, what they did to work out. A lot of people are saying, well, the best they're going to get out of the, like, I think both teams are going to be top 5 seeds in the conference. I think Toronto will be a top 3 seed, just because I think like the only 2 teams that are honestly going to be in front of them are the Celtics, Sixers. You can argue amongst yourselves who is going to be the best seeding of the conference. And then if they're not the third, they're probably going to be maybe, I don't know, because with the I'm gonna make a whole video probably about the Mike Budenholzer thing after this one. But I do think that that like if it's against, and I'm gonna talk about that later, but I do think that maybe the Bucks, but they did anyway, maybe the Bucks, I don't know, or maybe even Indiana, but yeah. And a lot of people, and then also I think the Spurs will be definitely a top 5 seed in the conference. If they're able to do so much without Kawhi Leonard, and they just got a player who is, yes, worse than Kawhi Leonard, but like he's, I don't always agree with this, like, this player is worse or better, because they're playing in 2 different systems, and they have they have different players around them. They're on different teams. They're not in the exact same situation. It'd be different if you could say, well, you have player A who's on a team in the Eastern Conference, and then you have another player on the Western Conference. It's really impossible to say, well, this player is indefinitely. I mean, LeBron James is better than every player in the NBA at the moment. So, in my opinion, he's the best player in the NBA right now. What else was I gonna say? Anyway, I don't like to say that, well, they're not going to get out the second round, because again, 2 different systems, 2 different coaches, 2 different like I say, like we say that, they ain't going to get out of the second round because LeBron's in that conference. Obviously, it's going to be difficult, but if you look at the Spurs team, even though, yes, in comparison, like, the other team has LeBron James, but, yeah, I know he's swept them out of the last 2 playoffs, but that was on the Toronto Raptors. Just because you go to a different team, or just because you got swept in one round doesn't mean that you're not going to come back the next season and be able to put up being able to put up like crazy numbers, or maybe beat the Lakers. But yeah, I'm not willing to say that LeBron James, even if they do get to the second round, they're gonna have to face the Lakers or something. I'm not just gonna say, well, yeah, they're not gonna get out of the second round because they're facing the Lakers and they have LeBron James. That's not a very, like, obviously, again, we know this, but 2 different teams, 2 different systems. Like, he went from Dwayne Casey to the greatest coach of all time. Those are two different systems. You went from, I'm not gonna talk about that. Anyway, yeah, I don't think anybody per se, won. I don't think any team won the trade. I do think it was a risky move by Toronto. And yeah, bye.